everybody, and welcome to Red Wings Rant. Yikes. We're tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings. They finally have a home.
Yeah.
Woo.
Uh-oh. The comments are already coming in. Ha! Performance art says, we suck! But also, GLJ, excited to make it Saturday night live again. Woo! He is here in the flesh. And Brian, first comment of the episode saying, hey, you rant rods.
Brian
messaged, man, is this an overachieving 400 team? Are we headed for the basement?
I feel like we've been asking that question for a little bit here. Like, it's, are we annoyed by that question yet? Like, literally every week, it's the same goddamn thing. It's just been, oh, is this the team that we are? Or is this the team that we are? And, recently we have more, if I could steal performance arts comments, we have more suck.
But if you could take performance arts previous comment, he also said, I made it, which could also be the Red Wings. We made it to the top of the division, and we plummet back into, 30th.
So. Right. JVR going on a breakaway, or the puck. Mike, the puck being launched from end to end by Albert Johansson. That was the puck saying, I made it! On an amazing end-to-end pass from Aljo. It's
what
either
a triumph
that happening,
with the spirit.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Performance Art wants to know, at what point do we give Kosa a try? Mike, at what point is the rest of the world going to join me and join us in acknowledging the fact that Gibson, he ain't got it. It's not there anymore. It's gone. There's not a John Gibson from years past to be found.
I think we talked about it at the start of the season, where it's like we want to have either, like, we want to know that we have a good goalie to see how good our defensemen actually are, or a good defenseman to see how good our goalie actually is. And I don't know, our defense kind of played all right. I mean, Seider's playing like a Norris candidate. Ben Sherratt, shout out to Blake if he's out there. Ben Sherratt having a pretty good season. Actually getting on the score sheet, which we don't see very often. Eljo firing pucks all over the place. Edvinsson using his big old girthy body to bang other men in that Boston uniform. Huh? So he's a big old slamming meat, right? So we got a couple guys who aren't completely inept. And then, what should have been a blowout turned into a 5-4 nail-biter. Thanks to a couple turnovers. Yes, I'll admit that, by the Red Wings. But, Matt, can we say 2 soft goals by Gibby?
Yeah, 100%. Real quick, let me call out how much better the Red Wings X account and social coverage is. Because I was like, oh, we want a goal replay. You know what I do? I go right over to @Detroit Red Wings, and I just scroll to the moment that goal happened. And there's probably 2 different versions of the replay available. Mike, I wanted to show off John Gibson getting out of the way of shots.
Hey, those pucks come in fast. All right, I don't
want to get hurt
by a puck.
Hey, those pucks hurt, man. You get out of the way.
Yeah, I saw the first Mighty Ducks movie. They hurt.
That goal with 9 seconds left. Somebody's got to tell, like, some goaltender has got to explain to me what John Gibson is doing. Eyes locked on the puck, and he lifts his leg to make room for the puck to squeak underneath. What is going on?
Are we going to the tape? Because right now I just have a static.
I don't have it because Boston sucks. Detroit Red Wings, I would expect, like, at this point, I am expecting the Red Wings to have that replay over Boston, but now I got to go to stupid NHL.com. That was the point I was making, was that I went to the Boston Bruins account and they don't keep track of highlights. They just say
Dan B is in. He said that left pad lift was bull stink. We'll just have to make up the last of it.
Dan nailed it.
Yeah, he did a very classy censorship of the second half of that word. Very proud of that.
Now, Brian, is highlighting Sebastian Cossa not being good, despite Mike being November's goaltender of the month in the AHL.
That is
Brian,
still not good enough. I want goaltender of the year, says Brian.
I'm at the point where we've talked in the past about like, I don't care. Put kids on this lineup because these defensemen just don't cut it. And it was like, if Axel doesn't make this team, there's a real problem. At this point, John Gibson lifting his leg to let a puck in. I'm good. Send in Sebastian Cossa. End the torture, end our misery. I am finding it now. So we could take a peek here in a sec. Let me make sure. We did get pinged by the NHL on our last episode. So
sneaky snakes, huh?
But I don't understand what purpose.
Well, GLJ's thrown in there a couple comments that I like, saying all I wanted was average NHL goaltending from Gibby. If he can't give that, yeah, it's a problem. And then he followed that up by saying Gibby only needed a C- on the test, and he has continuously submitted D- and Fs.
NHL.com, Mike, also. Here we go. Going out of their way to be not good enough here for what we need and what our purposes are for sharing a replay. But
that's how you whitewash a bad goaltending performance, huh? All right. Just don't let the highlight exist. Oh, Matt found it. You dirty dog.
I found it. This is all we have. We have not only is this going to be Ken Daniels calling it, which we won't play because we'll get in trouble, but it's also just the goal lot. Like there's no replay. Like normally you'd see like 2 or 3 replays so we could show you John Gibson lifting his legs. So you guys got to have those eagle eyes ready because you're going to see John Gibson giving one hell of a performance with 9 seconds to go here, Mike. Watch John. You have to set it up because your eyes have to be ready to catch this. How he's actually in position and lifts his leg out of position to let this goal in. So I do apologize that we don't have better replays than this, but hey, NHL.com has always failed us. So no surprise there. But I mean,
that's another ding for you, Matt.
Do you see that? Like this piece of like somehow I'm supposed to support this. Look at the pad, Mike. We can show it right here. You can see the left pad is down to make the save.
That's good positioning. Down. That looks good. Yeah.
It's good to go. And he lifts it so the puck can get through.
That is the most
make any sense.
That is the most NHL 94 on easy goal I've ever seen give up. The goalie just kind of spins in a ball. Yeah.
We do win. So we don't want to harp too long. We got to get this episode done before Blake joins the chat because his insane notions last night that we have to honor Ben Sherratt because he's scoring more than 80% of the team. We're not going to go there, but we will touch on a few things and kudos to Ben Sherratt. But eventually, this conversation is going to end up moving towards John Gibson. I mean, that highlight reel last night was just grade A baloney. Brian thrown out there. He can't stop a beach ball.
It was, I think Detective Crashmore would be unprofessional bullshit. All right. He's, I think that's how you'd sum up John Gibson's performance, Matt. But there's hope, right? I don't know. I mean, GLJ thrown out there. We've seen Cossa do this before. He's never been able to do it for a full season.
You fucking suck.
Thank you, Detective Crashmore. But not to say that Cossa isn't ready, meow, but he hasn't put that entire season together yet. And then Dan B thrown out Cossa was goalie of the week. Guimond was QMHL goalie of the month. Augustine frontrunner for the Hobie Baker Trophy. We are flush with young baby boy goalies. But yeah, it might be in for a long season if we got to keep playing Gibson all year.
And Dan B thrown in there. It only took Sherratt 5 years to become the player we expected. He's gone beyond expectations with last night's game. I mean, last night's game, I shouldn't say Sherratt's. I think Sherratt has demonstrated to me he met my very low expectations for most of his Red Wings career.
What pairing was he on yesterday?
He was playing with our boy Axel.
So you mean Sherratt looks better when he's not on the first pairing?
And I think he'd look even better on the third pairing.
Why did it take us so long to figure this out?
Injuries, Mike. Mr. Edvinsson being hurt. I think this is certainly the demonstration.
GLJ thrown in a hot one too. Weird how Sherratt is in his contract year. How good he is in his contract year. GLJ, I'm going to give you an early bid for a comment of the episode. But yeah, I think it's also something we've harped on since you guys have been paying attention to the show. It's not that we have a completely awful roster. It's just you want to slot guys in spots where they should be playing. Sherratt, a serviceable NHL defenseman, just not a top pair guy, and he looks a lot better.
Yes,
just putting him down a little bit. Just second pairing,
Mike.
That's not bad. Third pairing.
We've been saying it since day one, but it started with like the overpay. I thought at the time. Of course, now it's so far beyond that, like that time period. But
Jared, God damn it, Jared, you get a negative comment of the episode saying people pay attention to the show. Weird.
Thanks, Jared. I hate you.
Thanks, long-time listener. God, I hate you, Jared. All right. Yes, we have slides we want to hit today.
There's a couple, yeah. So yeah, we've been talking about this game, but it does have we should be mentioning too. Like we're kind of harping on Sherratt, but yeah, that was great game by Sherratt, great game by JVR. And honestly, I think it looked like a new version of Jacob Bernard Docker, who was doing what he should be doing. I like how it's described in like the Max Boltman article, where it was like it's like it hasn't been communicated to them to not be cute. Like, don't do flashy. Like, this is go absorb pucks with your body. Be a second goaltender out there. This is me. This isn't Max, but be a second goaltender out there.
Arguably our first goaltender out there. Gibson's just there as backup. Yeah.
And Todd like went on to say like about the performance of JBD was just that it's actually exciting the bench. It gets the boys talking. It gets them going, you know, hey, this is what we got to do out there, boys. You know, there's those gems, those pearls of wisdom that hockey players throw back and forth when they're mic'd up. But
Speaking
those
of pearls of wisdom, Jared throwing out their back end, bottom six, and pee-pee. We're talking hockey, right?
Here comes the next slide. Get ready, boys.
Woo!
Get that bottle of Jergens ready.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Here it is. More cider. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I mean, feel free to on your mobile watching device or your laptop. Yeah. You know, these are pretty fun things to look at. So, you know. But yeah, I did want to highlight here, and especially after this game, is she got a nice 3-point performance from Mo. Mo has entered the chat, Mike, for Norris consideration from our boy Dom Luschizin. Put out his awards watch. Cider cracks the top 10. But certainly, if you needed proof as to how this is happening, Hockey Stat Cards updated their game score breakdown for each team. Gave us a nice little graphic that now fits on our slides. Before they were too big. Just too big Hockey Stat Cards. You needed to slim them down like you did today. But Mike, guys, some of those names, if you're watching on your phone, they're going to be hard to see. You're not going to be able to read each one of those names. But I will let you know, and for the podcast listeners, what the Hockey Stat Card looks like if you turn. Oh, do we want to make a dirty joke? I'll say.
Nah, we'll class it up. We'll leave that for Jared. That's fine.
We have a jumble of guys that are pretty much just a pretty good performance from top to bottom. I mean, Alex DeBrincat all the way down to Michael Rasmussen for your forwards. Everything's pretty close together. And then we'll skip a name. We'll let you guys guess who it is. Then you jump down to Simon Edvinsson, Ben Sherratt, Aljo, JBD, and Axel, right? There's one name. There's an omission in that list. It is the longest reaching bar on this chart, and it paints a picture for us, Mike, that shows us why Moritz Seider is now driving the Red Wings bus, saying, come on, boys. And is, I mean, at this point, Like this is Norris consideration, Mike. He's now ranked number 2 on ESPN Fantasy Sports for defensemen, and guess who drafted him pretty late in the game was yours truly, Mike. I saw it. Forget the fact that I marked Seider as eligible for a trade, or I would listen to trades for him. That I hit the wrong button. You know what? That was a whoopsie.
Oh man, people love hearing about your fantasy team, man. But,
I knew.
Unfortunately,
this was a coming.
Yeah.
Career high shot rate. At the top of the league when it comes to expected goals for when he's on the ice. An extreme 60%, Mike. When he's on the ice, 60% of the goals, are for Moritz Seider's team when he's on the ice. That is the actual goals number. That is what that boy is carrying around.
Ooh.
That 60% sledgehammer.
I know we talked about it a little bit. Just we thought we would see more offense from Seider, as his career is kind of extended here. And, now he's putting the shots on, and it looks like he's kind of pacing to score more points than he did in his rookie season.
Yeah.
And I think Whiskey and Wings throws out the comment, Seider realized he's not a fighter. Time to figure out how to produce offense. And I think that's about him trying to figure out how to best be like a more well-rounded defenseman. But I also think when your defensive pairing is with Sherratt for most of your career, it's kind of tough, right? Because he's kind of overmatched on the first pair. So if you could be out there with Edvinsson, does that allow him more opportunities to be more aggressive offensively? Because he knows he's got, somebody he can trust on the other side.
That is a really good point and might drive some of the conversation a little bit later when we're looking at all these trade rumors.
Some trade smoke. Yeah.
It's definitely something for Seider where you want to put yourself. How long have we been talking about? He's got to face the toughest competition every night, right? And
basically, since he started at Little Caesars Arena, he's been playing against the best forwards in the world every single night for the most minutes of every single defenseman we've had over his tenure.
And when that happens, I mean, there's a thing that happens in your head that is like the signal of like, okay, I'm not being put out here with Ben Sherratt against the toughest lineup every night, against the toughest line every night, because I'm supposed to go out there and get some offense. No, I'm my focus. My focus is supposed to be preventing my opponent from scoring, and he did a great job at it for what he was supposed to do. It's just that we never saw like that give back. We didn't see those shots because it felt like that focus was there and it was get the puck out of the zone, but it wasn't take the puck to the other side. And now with Edvinsson, and this all started about a year ago, Edvinsson and Mo getting those chances to play together. Honestly, it was. And then they got separated once Todd McClellan came together, but that's fine because they're back together now. So, but once Edvinsson and Mo started playing together, starting last year, we were like, holy crap, this is like the best. This is like rating out as one of the best defensive pairings in the league, not only preventing, but producing. And then it all had to go away because we didn't have enough defensemen. This is that, like, this seems to be the moment that we've all been waiting for as Seider fans, as Red Wings fans. Things are really getting turned up for Seider. It's been consistent for a little bit here. Like, this isn't one of those things like me and Mike, we normally jump off the deep end when one tiny little good thing happens. So I think this is the good point where it's like, okay, there's enough positive things happening here that we could start to finally point to this and say, hey, that shot rate's up. Those chances on net, like 80% of the chances while Seider's on the ice are for the Red Wings. That means you're stopping those offensive chances for your opponent, getting the puck, like transitioning the puck the way it's supposed to be, and then also being able to throw a couple pucks at the net. And I can't think of a better way to show off like what Seider's potential is with a great partner than having Edvinsson out for a couple of days, couple of games.
Yeah.
Seeing this team crater, seeing the balance disappear, and then seeing this game when we get Edvinsson back, they get their chemistry back. They could control the puck a little bit more, and Seider just goes off.
Yeah, I think another thing that's kind of interesting too, we talked about, we kind of jumped off from that point with Sherratt, like putting people in positions to succeed where they should be. GLJ saying, I can't be the only one who noticed after they took Mo off that first pee-pee for a game or two, his offensive game suddenly roared back to life. You could see the visible improvement. So that might go hand in hand, but also the return of Edvinsson in that top pairing, I think. Do you kind of see any credence to that idea? Just kind of taking that pressure off Mo to run the penalty kill and the top 5-on-5 and the power play?
Yeah, it would have to be just as simple too, as like that recognition of like that's an opportunity for like a human being to not be moving and to rest up, not only mentally like you're talking about, but there's a physical aspect to that too. But I think there's also a part of Seider that wants to be relied on for everything, right? So then when he loses those types of things, like for sure, as I'm saying, there's the mental aspect of it that's a little bit of rest and relaxation never hurts, and it puts your head in a better space.
It's not like we didn't see, like a role like that for like Lidstrom, right? He would run the power play, run the penalty kill, do our 5-on-5, except that, Seider hammers people, and that wasn't really Lidstrom's game. It was kind of more finesse. So I don't know, maybe just giving him a blow every once in a while, just kind of give him a little bit of a break so he's not hammering people and our top defenseman and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
well, the final point I was coming to was like, it also is a great motivator for Mo, because I think he does want to be Nick Lidstrom. I think he does want to be out there for all of those different situations. And he proves he deserves a shot. This is another one of those proof points, but I think we just get to cap this off as like, what a great time for Red Wings fans to start celebrating. Like, it's not like we're shocked that Seider's turning out to be as good as he's looked in this start of the season. But there should always be the worry that it's never going to come to fruition. And this feels pretty good right now. This feels pretty good to watch Seider just dominate.
Yeah, I mean, you can say, we have internal development. It's a whole other thing to actually, objectively have an example of internal development. And I think Seider is, like GLJ saying, his offense kind of taken off again. So yeah, very encouraging stuff to see. And then I did want to just throw in Jim, the old man of our group. Jim, welcome back, bud. Said even Sherratt's offense has picked up. Yeah, we did talk about that a little bit. We really like him being not on the top pair. It does feel like he gets overmatched, but he's been pretty good on the second pair. And brand new, trying to sneak ahead on some slides here, but we are going to talk Quinn Hughes in just a little bit. And then Jared throwing out, I wish ASP would throw pucks at the net and not around it. Jared, I want him to be so selfish. I feel like he's got the hottest shot of our defensemen, and I think you're being tongue-in-cheek about him hitting the boards behind the goalie. But every time he passes it away, it breaks my heart because I just want to see him pepper more shots at the goalie. But yeah, we'll hit the next slide here, man.
Yeah, with all the good, we still got to come back to this Gibson stuff. These low danger goals that are getting through, but also like I don't know. Like I said to start the show, like I was like, I need a goaltender to explain to me what was going on in his head to like be in position to stop a puck and then lift your leg. Like, I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody for conspiracy theories to like come up when you see that. But no, I'm so worried right now because even a game like this Boston game, you still see throughout, the entire 25-26 season so far that we're struggling shot percentage wise and we're struggling save percentage wise. And it's funny, if one of those things was average right now, we're not having the conversation of like, which team is this? Which Jekyll and Hyde, are we going to get tonight? Or are we getting Jekyll or Hyde tonight? I mean, you'd probably be talking about in this division, like probably pure dominance. Like we would be far and away one of the top teams in the division, considering how close it is right now. I think right now we weaseled our way back into the third spot. And then that would mean Tampa. Well, Tampa's at 34 points. Maybe we'd be a little bit closer to Tampa, but it's, Ottawa's at 30 points as well. Like it to me looks like if one of these things could have just been average this year instead of, and I actually have, I think if I go forward another slide here, the second worst PDO in the league, fifth worst save percentage, second worst shooting percentage. And we're still the second worst PDO at all strengths. So those first three there were 5-on-5. I mean, these actual versus expected results are nuts. Like the expected goals are 94 and we're short 14 of that. And then the expected goals against, we've given up an extra 10 goals. It's rough, man. Right now, if that was the case, we'd have a plus 12, right, for actual if we actually met the expected goals. And we would have the fourth best goal differential in our conference.
Well, I think that, we have enough of a sample size where it kind of feels like, do we have an understanding of who this team is? And unfortunately, I think we do. They're kind of an average team.
And even for all the mishaps for like full periods of just absolute SHIT play,
yeah,
they're still coached really well because there's structure to these numbers. These numbers are met because they have, for the most part, I would say most of the time we're getting 40 minutes, but it's that one period every game where this is just like, what is going on? It's either imploding goaltending or and a combination probably at the same time of so many times we've just been peppering goalies without a good enough attempt on net.
So I guess I feel like we have the numbers kind of back up what you're getting to, but does that mean, are the answers to turning this around on this current team, are the answers to solving this in our minor league system currently, or do we need to go abroad?
We're going to another country?
Maybe. Our brothers to the north?
Oh, right.
Making a phone call to Vancouver?
I was making fun of you. All right. Nope, you nailed it. Is that my next slide? Yeah. I mean, we're taking a look now at the random chart of Quinn Hughes. And if I scroll back...
Before you get into his numbers, can you talk about why this is even something to feasibly investigate, right? Because this would be a huge game changer for the Red Wings, right? We talk about how awesome it would be to have good enough players that we can kind of trickle down guys into their roles. Having a number one, I guess, if you want to have him and Sider 1-2, defenseman on this team with all those problems that we just talked about. Why would this be something feasible for the Red Wings?
Well, yeah, I mean, the easy thing is how often we've talked about like the parity in this league and how close teams are to like, oh, if I just win one more game, I'm back in a wild card spot.
Right.
If I win, 3 games, I'm back. I mean, Vancouver's got to go on such a streak right now. It's incredible how poor they are. But I mean, there's only 3 teams right now that are. It's just like it's done. The season's done, and it is Calgary, it is Nashville, it is Vancouver. You could throw in St. Louis too because they their front office seems to be saying some pretty nasty things on the radio. They're 2 points closer, but yeah. So you have this bucket. I'm saying just these 3 teams, even though we could throw in maybe a couple more. I mean, why wouldn't you throw in Buffalo every year? But anyway, just these 3 teams. If you're one of them, and this has just been an issue with this team for years, you just cannot get this right. It's time to hit the reset button. You have all the rumors swirling that you're going to lose Quinn Hughes for nothing because eventually he's just going to go sign in New Jersey. I think this is actually an opportunity, not only because the conversations have started about how this would be the perfect fit for the Red Wings. There is the tie to Michigan, and there's an opportunity here to sell Vancouver on telling the world to go F itself. Basically, Steve Yzerman making that call to Vancouver and saying, hey, the world is probably right that Quinn is going to walk away from this, but they're also saying that you're going to get nothing out of this, that you're going to totally screw this up. So let me show you. I have a full pocket of draft picks and prospects. And if you're going to lose Quinn Hughes, let me help you out, brother.
Can I throw out an NBA comparison?
Sure.
And it involves a Canadian team. 2019, there's a all-NBA player, Kawhi Leonard, who just didn't want to play in San Antonio anymore. And a bunch of teams were putting out trade offers. And the Toronto Raptors of Canada put out a trade offer for this guy, knowing that the odds of him re-signing in Toronto were slim to none. They did it because they wanted to win an NBA championship. And they felt this was the last piece. They knew they were sacrificing a lot, and it ended up working out. I don't know if Quinn Hughes is necessarily that huge of a super duper star, but knowing that you'd get him for more than a season, right?
2 seasons is what we're saying. Yeah, you'd get him for the rest of this one.
I know, and somebody had a comment that I really liked. It was Whiskey and Wings saying, come on, fellas, Steve only trades away players of significance. No need to waste time talking about bringing in any real help. If the goal is to win championships, this would get you a lot of, ahead of a lot of the parity in the league, right? Where you could feel like the Red Wings could actually take their division with a, pretty solid defense, and it would probably take a little move at goaltender too, maybe Kosa, sharing time with Cam Talbot, but this would be a massive move, and it's something that it's not one of my sexy forwards. It's not, Matt's beloved EP40. This is something that could trickle down and really, really help this team defensively. A couple people here were commenting about controlling the puck even more. I know that Steve's not going to do it because he loves to have, a foundation of mediocrity for the next 10 to 12 years. This would be, an attempt to try and move into the upper echelon. And it's risky, right? Because he might walk away. Yeah. You get 2 years to figure it out. And even if he doesn't like it here, you get a year to dangle him around in trades. So it just feels like a win-win picking him up, even if he doesn't necessarily want to be a Red Wing for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I would say too, the Pierre Maguire and Jeff Merritt conversation, which was a part of all of these rumors, did come with 2 important notes. Number one, Pierre said far and away the number one potential team to land Quinn Hughes is the New Jersey Devils. But he said if there's any team that would be number 2 and not only has a chance or has enough prospects to actually trade for Quinn.
Prospects and desperation to be relevant.
He also said he believes that Steve could sell Quinn on sticking around.
I mean, he's done his Jedi mind trick to trick Sider and, Raymond and Dylan Larkin into signing discounts.
And how little they're getting paid. Quinn, there will be a ton of money to make Quinn Hughes the next Kirill Kaprizov. So, I mean, The money will be there to make Quinn feel like a superstar, to feel like a megastar. I will add in there too, especially with Dan B's call out. He won't help defensively except that he has the puck all the time. Yes, Dan, that is it. When we talk about those low PDO stats, what you got to do on the next step is take a look at how often we're actually winning on high danger and medium danger chances, which is what Quinn will bring to the table for your team. But on the flip side, we've been talking about John Gibson lifting his effing leg on a shot that he's ready to block. Yeah. So I don't need him to be better defensively because we could have everybody blocked up. We could have a guy on the side of the net with a terrible angle and a low danger shooting percentage, and it's still going to get through John Gibson. So what I need, Dan, what I need the Wings to do is hold on to that puck like grim death. And I need them to never let it go. And this is it. This is that answer. And this is the side of our defense. I would think we'd all agree, like, can we get some more help on the left side? And it solves so many problems. It'll create better scoring chances. Like, you want to see those medium and high danger scoring chances increase a little bit. And yeah, the puck possession is good right now. So the next steps are like making that puck possession count into like something really special. Because if you bring on Quinn Hughes and that shooting percentage still stays low, then we know where that next step, like where do we need to make our next move. And I will tease Mike that parent, the second line, whoever is centering DeBrincat and Patrick Kane when it's 5-on-5,
hey, it's going to be Copper. Huh? Are you excited about that?
Their goal for percentage with whoever is centering it is below 40%. That is not good.
Not ideal.
Not expected. Expected is there, but the goals for percentage, Mike, we might be talking about Patty Kane getting moved because that power play doesn't look as dangerous, and our boy does not have he's not got it, because we're not going to harp on DeBrincat, who's number 3 on this team in points and is at a point per game pace, and I'm not going to drag anybody for getting assists and goals like DeBrincat is for us right now. But there's a guy on that second line that he got hurt. It's not going great. So there's a couple holes now I'm starting to see in this top 6, and not just because Emmett Finney, Mike, that line, killing it. One of the best lines in hockey, one of the best first lines in hockey. They own like 65% of the goals share, and on the expected goal side as well. Emmett Finney, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond are doing it. They are hitting expected goals. They are hitting a lot, and they're owning a majority of them. That line, no problem. Everything I've said about Emmett Finney, I'm an idiot. Woo! Right in the garbage. That second line, when you're down at 33% goals for percentage, according to Natural Stat Trick on 5-on-5, and you have the shot share, like, it's just not going in. I'm
surprised
I'm worried about an old
more defensive over a fellow 36-year-old. You know, that's you and Patty Boy over there.
I know what it feels like to be me. It's
you
not
know
great.
You know it's over. You know this is a wrap for you.
Yeah, this is done.
Jim's throwing out there too. The other elder statesman saying Kane hasn't been the same since the injury, and Finney's not a top line forward. The stats say otherwise, Jim. But yeah, Kane looks neutered. I don't know if he's just playing hurt or what, but man, does that guy need like an all-star break or an Olympic break? He needs one of those stats. But I don't know. I apologize. I didn't see if that was your next slide, but a lot of people have questions. A lot of great people. They have questions about what the offer would be. And I think some people are concerned about the amount of prospects we'd have to give up to make this trade happen. whiskey and wings thrown out there. 4 first-rounders minimum. I think he's just naming people. Casper, ASP, Carter Bear. That's an alternate trade, I think. 4 firsts or Casper, ASP, Carter Bear, and a first. And I think GLJ had one that was Nate Danielson. Then you get 1 of ASP Edvinsson, 1 of Kosa Augustine, and then a first. I think GLJ's offer is a little bit closer. I think you would have to give up like Casper or Nate, plus ASP or Edvinsson, plus 1 of our goalie prospects, and then some sort of pick to let Vancouver do their own thing. I still don't. I don't think that Steve's going to budge on Edvinsson. I think he would listen on Nate, ASP, and 1 of the goalies and a first.
I think we win this trade.
You mean a top 5 Norris, pairing him with a top 10 Norris? That's a winning trade?
I'm just throwing out there top 5 like now, but I mean Quinn is legit. Like it's Cale Makar than Quinn Hughes, and Quinn is on a horrible team. I really think it's arguable. Like you could make the argument that Cale Makar is just going to have better numbers because he's got the greatest forward in the NHL right now. Better than Connor McDavid is Nathan McKinnon.
Real quick, Davey saying, please, no more impressions of Orange Julius. I'm trying to forget about real life. Don't worry, Dan. It's just such a, I don't know. It just pops out sometimes because it's such a ridiculous human being. But anyway, man, go ahead.
No, I was just, it's, I think you are bringing in, I think you're bringing in the second best defenseman, arguably the best defenseman in the league right now. And you get him for 2 seasons. You get a couple years to show off like what you can do. And this is the NHL. Like guys get comfortable. They like it when their stuff's like, they don't want to have to call a moving company. We give him 2 years here. His stuff gets some dust on it wherever he's living, probably like Birmingham or West. Wait, which one's the really expensive one? Is that West Bloomfield?
Birmingham, West Bloomfield, yeah.
Yeah. He's living in swanky West Bloomfield. He's collecting dust on some of that stuff and starts thinking about having to pick it all up and dust it off and move to New Jersey. That stuff all disappears. I will say this. We're never going to win in the free agent market ever. I think that's done. And if you're going to have rumors start to be spread about a very huge hole and to fill a hole for the Red Wings with, again, arguably the best player at his position in the league at this time, at the prime of his career. Yeah, you win this trade. You win Nate Danielson, Asp or Edvinsson, Kosa or Augustine, and a first. I would argue Vancouver be like, that's not enough. Screw you. Get out of here. If this is what it takes, if that is it, Mike, I would have already done that.
Well, some people are a little concerned about what we'd be giving up.
Why?
Sober Heat Hen 10, welcome to the show. Saying you're not giving up 4 first-round picks for 1 player. You kind of would be with our prospects in a first, right? I just, you would presumably have one of your other 2 goaltenders, right, between Kosa and Augustine. You would still want to retain, ASP or Edvinsson, and then, probably give up Nate because he's still a maybe, right? For something you is irreplaceable. I know that we get high on our own prospects just because we're used to them and we get to see them develop a little bit, but the odds are that those guys are not going to work out. And be as, the top of their positions, Like Quinn Hughes has already demonstrated that he can be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nate is going to be, we're not giving away a top line center. ASP would break my heart. You hope that he becomes Quinn Hughes. And then between Costa and Augustine, you're going to have the other one. So, I don't know how many, teams outside of super duper lucky teams get to just, draft two goalies like that and they both turn out to be, 1A, 1B. The other one of them would have to be, goalie 1A and then a first round pick. I still feel like you're winning this trade because you're getting one of the best players in the world at that position for, three maybes that you feel kind of confident on and a first round pick, which if things go well, it's going to be at the end of the first round anyway, right? Mm-hmm. Towards the end of the first round. It's not a top 5, top 10 lottery pick. You would, see the Red Wings doing well. So we'll basically call it a second round pick and 3 maybes for a guy who's projecting to be, maybe a Hall of Famer at defense. Yes, I will agree to that trade. I will agree to a maybe Hall of Famer for 3 maybes and an early second round pick. How about that?
Jared throws in there all this talk of Hughes, and it's going to be Hronek that gets traded.
No, I don't want that reunion, even though that's probably feasible.
Yeah, but then you're talking about a right side defenseman that's, at that point, now you have a third pair, right? Like you're putting Aspa on the third pair or Hronek. So,
you know what I like is I'm going to give this a comment of the episode bid for Dan B saying, okay, he's going a little over the top, but he's saying throw in Pettersson and Sherwood, and you got a deal. Okay, so that's a little much, but I do think maybe just Sherwood, and it's a little bit like the Cabrera deal for the Tigers when they just we'll just throw in down Joe Willis. Let's just see what happens. You just get a little extra cap filler there. So Dan B, I like where your head's at there. Ooh, can I touch on this? It's only tangentially related. Whiskey and Wings saying, serious question. Do we make the playoffs the last 2 years if we just kept Hronek and Wallman?
Wait, where is that?
That's at 7:22, a couple minutes ago.
There it is. Okay. So the situation would be when was this? We don't have Asp. We've had Hronek, Sider, Edvinsson, Wallman. Oh, we would have gotten to keep our second round pick from last year. So who knows what that would have turned into? Just kidding.
I do nothing. Go ahead.
Whiskey, let me just say the fact that I'm like, I think the answer is just that it is a great question. I think the answer is like, I think you have improved your chances greatly. And somebody's playing. Who would know? Oh, can you hear that?
Very faintly, but yeah.
Okay.
Whiskey, I like your question as well. I'm going to say yes, but we already did it.
Yeah, I think you greatly increased your chances. I'm not ready to like stamp it, but I think a lot of your problems have come from the fact that we just keep trading away like the defensemen that are good to go.
But Whiskey, I think you were already hitting on his next comment. He's saying you give up the sun and the moon for a Norris level defenseman. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my comment of the episode. That's where
four maybes for an oh my god, he's on our team and all of LCA suddenly has Quinn Hughes jerseys. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about too like the value of having a Quinn Hughes who's going to be leading Team USA in a couple of months here on your team? Right? I don't know. To me that always means a ton. Like you could have essentially like 2 game changers for Team USA. You'd have Dylan Larkin and Quinn Hughes on your team, man. Jim Johnson throws out, is this Okay, so Nate asked Rasmussen first in 2026, second and a prospect or two, and he's getting back Sherwood and Quinn. I don't know if they... I think they would just be like, hang on to Rasmussen, no worries. It'll work both ways. You can keep him. We'll take whatever. Like, I'm poo-pooing more on Rasmussen than and you know what, Jim? I'm just now catching on the Surrey BC boy. So putting Rasmussen in a spot where maybe he'll thrive a little bit more, being closer to home. That's possible. Didn't work for Mitch Marner, but maybe it'll work for Michael Rasmussen. That sounded a little bitchy. I was not trying to be bitchy. It's just
oh no, bitchy Matt returns.
Just how it came out. I did not mean for it to sound like that. Jim thrown out there. Also, Hamonic needs to be waived. I wouldn't argue with that. I don't know how much longer we're gonna have to wait before we start pillaging this whole Grand Rapids Griffins team and just saying, hey, you know what, Steve, your pro scouting team, God bless them, but good riddance. Like, holy crap. Like, literally anything could be better than what they've been pulling in for this team for 9 years now.
I did want to offer an apology because I just realized I was misreading somebody's name as Sober Heat Hen when it's Sober Heathen. Sober Heathen. You could have corrected me on that. That was an embarrassing gaffe on my part. So I'm going to give him a comment of the episode bit here. With our blue line so bad that it's hard to completely blame Gibson, although he's been awful and let in 2 more softies last night. ASP needs to get sent down, in his opinion. I'd rather just go Hamonic and JVD. I think Sober, you're coming in kind of at the middle end of our episode, but we did touch on that where we really wish this could be more scientific, right? With like a base and a control. Because we wish that we had a full assortment of blue liners so we could test how good our goalies actually are. But instead, we've got some that have mistakes between the ears, as McClellan has so artfully said, and so it's kind of been hard to know who's actually to blame most of the time. It does not feel like a coincidence, though, that the team seems a little more successful with Talbot out there. So at the very least, with this experiment about who's doing their job correctly, I know Talbot is. I can't say the same for Gibson most of the time, and our young defensemen have some spots they could grow. I'm just not ready to send down ASP because I don't love the options that would be coming up. I think there would still be mistakes, but they wouldn't be learning experiences. They would just be repeat offenses from repeat offenders.
And I should amend my comment about the Griffins, because if you take a look at minutes leaders and your points leaders on the Griffins, you're looking at Eric Gustafson or Justin Hall, or a couple of your candidates to be called up. So I think I'll just keep my mouth shut on that. Essentially, quick, Steve Corey does a great job pulling in AHL defensive talent. Steve, yes, that pro scouting team knows what's up in the AHL. Good job, Steve. Nice. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was just going to say, Corey Eisel.
No more Hall.
What's up, dude? No. He said he heard some craziness about giving up Casper, Danielson, Carter Bear, and a first. I just don't think that's I don't think that's a reasonable ask from Vancouver, because I feel like they'd want some sort of defensive prospect. So I wouldn't worry too much about that trade, Corey, because I think they'd want, ASP or at least one of our goaltenders if they're actually making a trade with us.
I'd be like, right now, if I'm Steve, I'm concerned about how far Marco Kasper's trade value has dropped this year. Like, he's shown to not just be like unproductive, but he's making a lot of bad choices out there. It's just, it's not looking great. So I even for this, I think Vancouver would be like, Really? No, thanks, guys. But Mike, I might be okay with this.
Here's a
I don't
crazy
hate it.
hot take.
Yeah.
Latest comment from Whiskey saying, I'd trade Larkin tomorrow if it brought us Quinn. Wow. Oh, I think he's being sarcastic. Who needs a first-line center anyway?
Oh. Yeah, that was going to be a hot take that I was going to push back on Whiskey, so I'm glad you amended that.
Yeah. We got a new commenter here, Vented, saying trade target Quinn Hughes. I think that's a bit of a stretch of reality. The only reason it's coming up is Vancouver themselves confessed everybody's on the board.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a topic if it wasn't coming up in every insider's podcast and whatnot. So I agree with you, Vented. Like, I think he's going to New Jersey, but I think this is something where we could look back and say, like, how many times, Mike, we are actually in, like, the lips of our insiders are, like they're saying Red Wings for the first time in a while for a top target like this. And like, it's in the same volume as like Kachuk going to Florida kind of thing. So the thing about
like
this is, Vented, is like,
time that we were on their lips, so to speak, was when they said Mitchell Marner, absolutely no way in hell is he going to the Detroit Red Wings. Let's move on.
Right.
So for them to even entertain this idea to humor the city of Detroit, I'm gonna put a little stock into that. I'm gonna push a few chips into that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, you have to start looking at your GM at some point. And I think there were instances where big names have been moved and we were nowhere near the conversation. And it's like, well, yeah, like it wouldn't even make sense for us to get a 25, 26-year-old at that time because of all of our young rookies. And we're going to want them to sort of blah, 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 blah. Now we're at that point where the team is showing positive movement. They're showing the success. We have another super duper star showing himself as Moritz Seider, another superstar in Lucas Raymond, who's both producing at elite levels. And it's like, look, a name like this doesn't pop up all the time. And your GM either takes advantage of it or they don't. And, I think it's just one of those things. I think we need at some point to start looking at Steve Yzerman and saying, did he do enough to bring in superstar talent for this team that's required to get to the next level? At this point, no. Like, at this point, he's just doing what anybody who does absolutely nothing could do, which is just draft and be patient. But at some point, you got to do a little bit extra. And right now, the team is proving that even with having some pretty good-looking superstars in Seider and Raymond, that it's not enough.
I just wanted to touch on Vented had a few comments I really liked. They were saying, I think players now are all going to one team they want to go to. It's a shame, but it's like the NBA now. I don't think it's that different, Vented. I think you could look at the Stanley Cup runs of the Red Wings of the late 90s and the 2000s. I mean, that was full of guys who just wanted to go and win a title, right? With Brett Hall and Hasek wanted to do that, and Robitaille wanted to go do that. It was a lengthy list of dudes who were like, I haven't won a cup yet. I want to go win one. I'm going to go to Detroit. And I think you should actually feel, I know that's a silly way to phrase that. You don't need to list some jerk on a podcast telling you how to feel, but it's like, I don't feel discouraged by that. I think you should, like, as a fan of a hockey team, you could feel encouraged to think that all that it takes to kind of seduce players to coming to your team is winning and feeling like the goal of the franchise is to win, not give you a phone call and tell you, hey, our franchise is 106 years old. Isn't that great? We're an original six team. And are we going to win anything anytime soon? Well, we're going to make a bunch of pragmatic decisions and do a nice slow burn where, we're going to be mediocre for a really long time. And, maybe one of these years the odds will flip in our favor and we'll squeak in as the 8th seed and you won't believe it. Maybe we'll win a few games or two. Doesn't that sound fun? No, I want to go win. So I think the difference is, Vegas is like the Red Wings 20 years ago. And you can be a destination that teams want to go to, but you have to demonstrate to them that you're interested in winning, not making pragmatic, slow burn moves that frankly, I don't know if they're ever going to pan out because, first round picks have panned out, right? We don't really have the free agents. We don't have that many sexy traits to show that, we're a good team. We're kind of mid.
Can we say we've got 2 that have panned out?
Okay. Yeah. So I think if you make a move like this, it kind of opens eyes around the league that, wow, all right, the Red Wings are a little serious now because they're actually, trying something risky, trying something for the now. And, it's so much easier to pitch to potential players to join your team when you're demonstrating our goal is to win today. We want to win hockey games. We want to get good players. We want this to be an enjoyable experience for you. And I don't think that this, what I think what Steve would call a pragmatic approach is a sexy offer to a potential, incoming player on a trade or a free agent. But if you're bringing Quinn in, and I got to say, if you're doing that, you probably need one more trade to shore up the top 6 to you're doing this, you might as well go for it, man. I'm not, again, I think just the point is I'm not discouraged by this. I'm encouraged because you should want to go to teams that want to win. It doesn't matter what color the laundry is. You want to go to organizations that are trying aggressively to win.
Yeah, I think, and that's at this point, that's your selling point that you can actually create because you're not really. I mean, it took me an hour and 10 minutes to drive home today on what's normally a 38-minute drive. Because
the other
Michigan.
Thing too is, I think Vented was.
There's no palm trees.
There's a little concern of the salary cap too, and 2 things Steve's gotten right. Okay. He's done a good job at amateur scouting, right? We like most of the first round picks he's made. Mm-hmm. And the cap sheet is pretty clean in this immediate future and the years to come. So, I mean, you got money to throw around at somebody like a Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah. And the guys that are coming off the books are super replaceable. And the guys you're keeping on are they've put us in a great position. So at some point I want to have a contract that puts us in some cap trouble. That's a good thing. And I and I feel like we're still harping on the same thing. I think we landed the point. I think we could wrap up and talk about what's coming up here. Mike, got Columbus, Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Chicago. Mike, maybe December 8th. Maybe we should circle that date. Make sure we're available for
don't let them leave the locker room.
Podcast. Yeah. Maybe December 9th. They have a day off. So yeah, maybe we're coming home with Quinn. But anyway, long road trip, Mike. At that point, maybe this whole conversation is moot because even though you've got some pretty easy teams coming up, road has been a little bit more difficult than home for the Wingdings, but we're playing the same exact game we played the last couple of weeks where you look at the schedule and you're like, oh, wow, that's 6 super winnable games. All right, sweet. So maybe we'll have 6 wins. But, that hasn't gone great the last couple of times we played this game. But I have no problem looking at Columbus, Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and Chicago and saying, if your team's legit, you should probably get 6 wins there, man. I know there's a Connor McDavid mixed in there. I know there's a Connor Bedard, but let's go, man. Those are 6 winnable games. So at least let's say everything's toss up or up or above, right? You're not looking at any of those games. You're like, that one is a loss.
We've talked about it a few times the past couple of weeks, but it's one thing for you and I to look at the schedule and be like, I mean, come on, 5 of 6 of these games should be cupcakes. But the problem is it kind of feels like the Red Wings play that way too. And they have this undeserved sense of entitlement that they're going to walk away with wins. And it doesn't feel like they hammer teams that they should be more motivated and, are objectively more talented than.
They're down by 2 after 15 minutes, and they're like, "Come on, and then they give up in the second, and then it's 6-0 going into the third, and that's the story of this season. I think you might be right. Maybe this won't bode well, but if you've got this Edmonton situation, which is just so much fun to watch happen. I don't really hate the Oilers, but they're screwing up Connor McDavid, and they refuse to do anything. So I kind of want to, I'm hoping we could get a couple goals against Jeff Skinner. Calgary's, I guess Dustin Wolf sucks now, but they just found who's their new goalie that's now in the Calder race. Then you got Vancouver, who we've been talking about the whole episode. Chicago, who, again, Bedard just decided to be Connor Bedard finally, and he's legit elite now. So maybe maybe it's not the same story as last year, but Chicago's still gettable. And then Columbus and Seattle are forever. Those two franchises, I'm worried about them. I feel like Columbus just got labeled the most irrelevant team in U.S.
I'm actually going to be in Columbus this weekend for Comic-Con down there.
It was your boy that does the basketball podcast.
You got to narrow it down just a hair.
Tiny, skinny white guy.
Even further. What do you
got? He does a movie podcast too that you like.
Oh God, I'm not. I'm really letting you down here.
He's like one of the biggest podcasters. Oh, I don't listen to him. But
I don't
you
listen
love
to him for hockey though. For Bill Simmons, he doesn't know anything about hockey.
Oh, Bill, no, for basketball. But yeah, it was Bill Simmons.
I got you.
Matt just described himself.
Corey,
you know what?
Corey.
Thanks, Jared. I see myself. I struggle to see myself as a.
Jared with the late bid for a comment of the episode. Yeah, you. Someone said they think about me. Corey throwing out there Berggren, Comfort, Copp, Hall, and Gustafson for Hughes. Get it? Come on, Corey. Why would they agree to all of our garbage? Jim, I don't like Steve's pragmatism. I like yours though. He says he'd be happy with the 4-2 road trip. Yeah, I'd be pretty ecstatic about that. And I am honestly happy for Jim. Jim's going to be in Vancouver December 8th, so that should be fun.
3-on-3 on a road trip for 6 straight games. That's actually pretty good. I think you get 3 wins on this thing. You should be dancing.
Did we have any other ones in here? No, I know we're kind of wrapping up here.
Yeah.
We're at an hour plus. We appreciate you guys hanging around.
Oh, I forgot to do the ad. Wait. Guys, you can sign off. I'm going to do the ad. We'll just get in trouble.
No, stick around for the ad. You're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah. What's the time? 1:08.
Spinoramas, Michigan goals, and those heart attack Cam Talbot sprawls across the crease. If you're living and dying with every Red Wings highlight like we are, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. They're an official sports betting partner of the NHL, and they're making the action even sweeter. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Yes, the same feeling as watching Lucas Raymond pick a corner, but for your wallet. So do what we do every game night. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-7897-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply. In Illinois, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
Oh man, look at that.
Technically that was a mid-roll because we're still going. All right, Mike, we'll see you next week.
Jesus.
We're so good at this.
Somebody said, is our ad going to be for gambling or coffee? I didn't know we could have a coffee ad. What coffee ad are you talking about?
I don't think we get to pick, Mike. What?
No, I'm saying which, because if you're getting inundated with advertisements when you're listening to a podcast, like I'm used to hearing like DraftKings, MeUndies, what's the other big one? I don't know. Amazon's doing their stupid ad. I don't know what coffee one he's referencing.
What would be the? There's one that they've done on 32 Thoughts.
It's not Bones, is it?
No.
I know they're actually in like Walmarts and stuff, so they're kind of getting around.
GLJ, sell us stuff. See, this banter part is going to help me make the argument that was a mid-roll ad. So this is good. I'm glad we're still going. All right. I will see you next week, Mike. And boys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching our ad. Go do some DraftKings stuff. All right. See you later.
See you guys.